Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. It is Monday the 7th of December. We have new mods and we have some updates. The mods were posted very early again today. The first one I'm going to start off with after we've looked at the updates actually drops late on Friday. The mod seems to be very peculiar at the moment. I know I've said this a few times. We're getting a load of mods dropped early now. The last few days we've had mods have been dropped in the morning rather than afternoon. Then weirdly we then get one mod will then drop later on in the afternoon, evening. This popped up Friday late afternoon, evening, when all the other mods are dropped in the morning. So I didn't cover it Friday, so I'm going to cover this one today. But anyway, the updates are as follows. From left to right, the Lizard 2000 by Holtz FS and the International Transstar has made a return by Rowley Christie 1 VSR Modding Saw. They've both had updates today. So this in front of me is the liquid manure storage. This is by MefiuFs, 4.45 megabytes to download, 13 slots each. We've got a small slurry storage tank and a large slurry storage tank. If I remember correctly, it's 15,000 for this one, 30,000 for that one, 70,000 litre capacity and 140,000 litre capacity. Very nicely made, very nicely detailed, great texturing. Now, these only take slurry though. These are slurry storage, slurry tanks. They're not for slurry and digestate, which we often find because the two are interchangeable. Often when you get a storage tank, it takes both. This will only do slurry. This you will find under placeables, under silos. As I said, 13 slots, 15,000, 13 slots each, 15,000 for the first one, 30,000 for the second, 70,000 litres, 140,000 litres. And yeah, it does say you can use a slurry storage to store your liquid manure. Now, on the website, it does say these are only compatible with the manure system, but that's on PC. The console versions are absolutely fine. Now, what I did was got a tanker and put slurry in it and put 30,000 litres of slurry into this one. I then went and grabbed digestate to check to make sure, and it won't let me unload into this one. But then what I also did, I've grabbed myself a slurry spreader just to show that once you have got something in it, you can take stuff out of it. The trigger is the same place on the side here, and it should come up start filling. There we go. Start filling. Slurry, 30,000 litres. So you can fill up your slurry spreaders or tanks or tankers or whatever from it. Let's stop there. But the thing is, with a slurry spreader, if you finish doing your slurry spreading, you can't unload slurry into it. Unloading into these tanks has to be done with a tanker. Oftentimes you can... it won't give you an overload. You can overload from a slurry spreader into a tanker sometimes. But like I say, just to show you, and also just to again highlight the fact that that one has got digestate in it. If I back up to the trigger, nothing comes up to allow me to unload into it. As you can see. So slurry only. That's by MefiuFs, the liquid manure storage. Moving on from there, so the mods that actually popped up today. Let's start with the doghouse. Now the reason for the title, I haven't decided, I think I'm going to go with Sleepy Monday, I think. We've got a lot of sleep triggers today, and as you know, you can only place one at a time unless you're on multiplayer. So I'm going to show one, and then I'll drop out and show the next, and drop out, show the next, and for you it will just be a quick edit. But we've got quite a few today, I think 4 or 5 sleep triggers today to look at. But anyway, that being said, this is the wooden doghouse. This is by Ostry, 5.56 megabytes, 6 slots on console. We've had quite a few dog houses recently. We had a long spate of not having any, and then we had a Russian one, we've had the wooden one, we've had quite a few different ones. And it works just the same as any of the dog houses do. You place it, you can put your food in it, you can throw the ball, you can call the dog. He'll come and eat. It's just another alternative doghouse. This you'll find under placeables, under animal pens, 250 to buy. I think the last one was £1,000, so that's a little bit cheaper. 250,000 to buy, and it's a hut, shelter, doghouse for a dog. Wonderful. Moving on, we have got this. This is the John Deere Ripper. This is by LRModding. 6.76 megabytes download, 8 slots on console. It's 4 meters wide. Now, as a ripper, I assumed it would be under subsoilers, but it's not. It's actually under ploughs, this one. And it acts as a plough, which we're going to see in just a second. Nicely made, nicely detailed. All the bolt heads and all various different things on there. Looks very good indeed. So like I say, this you'll find under tools, but this is under ploughs, not subsoilers. 20,000 to buy, requires 250 horsepower to pull, and it will go at 15 miles per hour. There are no options available. It's John Deere green and John Deere yellow. So what we'll do, we'll hook up. It does have lights on the back, indicators on the tops, very bright, very clear. Turn the lights off. And there we go. It will plough slash rip slash subsoil. I mean, I know technically that's a ripper is more of a subsoiler than a plough itself, but up to 4 meters. So there we go. That's the John Deere Ripper by LRModding. Well, the John Deere Ripper, sorry, 2100. I do apologise. Disconnect that. And we shall move on. Let's go to the trailer. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do the first of the sleep triggers now. Then we'll look at the rest. This one has a problem, unfortunately. This is the 2-story house pack. This is by Adub Modding, Ben M ABP team. This is 2.1 megabytes download. There are 2 of them in this pack. There's a sleep trigger one and then there's a decorative one. There are 2 slots each, but as you can probably already tell, the scale is way off. That could just be the conversion over from making it on PC over to console. The scaling is just out a little bit, but as a 2-story building, it seems, like I say, it's very small and the doors are tiny. You see where I'm standing, kind of head height. But regardless of that, the sleep trigger is here at the front. This one you'll find under placeables and under farmhouses. Just there, 120,000 to buy for the sleep trigger version. Again, I'm assuming this is one of those ones that's going to get an update fairly soon and the scale will just get adjusted, I would assume. And then the other one is under decoration. There you go. So for 100,000 you get the standard version that doesn't have a sleep trigger. And I say 2 slots each for those. That's the first of them. So that one I'll get rid of in a minute and then we'll get some more sleep triggers in. But next up, actually, sorry, before I go on, apart from the fact the scale is off, the detail's nice. The brickwork's great. It looks like a very nice mod. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. It just, let's say, it's just the scale. I don't want to kind of just shrug it off as, So next up, we've got this. This is the Cargo XK18. This is by SimulagriModding. This is 16.26 megabytes download and 15 slots on console. Very nicely detailed, as the SimulagriModding stuff usually is. This you'll find under tools and trailers. There you go, 30,665 for the base model. It takes pretty much everything. It starts off with a capacity of 23,250 litres. That can then go up to 27,000 litres. I think so, one more. Yeah, and then 32,500 litres for the much larger one. Then back again. All 3 stages of that will take everything. I did double check because, like I said before, and I always say in the mod reviews, sometimes when you get the silage extensions, the trailers then will only take forage type crops. With this one, even up to 32,500, it will still take everything. We've got the option of Trelleborg, Michelin, Nokian, Mattxjs. Trelleborg has standard and wides. Michelin is just standard. Nokian is standard. And then Mattxjs, we've got a slightly more knobbly tread We've got a standard and a wide on that as well. Those are the options available. Just want to double check we didn't have a thing for the ladder to come down. Don't think so. We can have on the back, we can have tip side back or tip side grain door. And we unload L1, R1 and unload here. Fairly fast unload. Pretty high tip on that. But nice smooth animation. Do have lights on it with indicators. I mean, that's pretty much standard, but I still should show it. So there we go, that's the Cargo XK18 by SimulagriModding. Moving on to the next of the trailers we have today, and this is the Massey Ferguson 700. I'll hook up to this one first. Hop out. So this is by Mattxjs, 16.99 megabytes download and 19 slots on console. We have a few options available on this one too. Nicely made, nicely detailed. This also has regular back unload and grain door. We do have a couple of options with regard to size. You can go right the way up to 29,000 litres with the silage sides, but this again will still take everything, even with all the silage sides on, so it won't just do forage crops, but almost, you know, pretty much a completely different design from the standard one to the silage sides. You have got the regular bottom section there, but the whole back unload section, all of that is all completely different. Very nice indeed. This you'll find also under tools and trailers. There you go, 12,500 for the base model. The base one is 14,500 litres, like so. We can change the rim colour to anything on that palette there. So you've got a metallic, you've got a white, and you've got a grey. We've got main colour, anything on that palette, and that does change the main colour, like so. And then design colour, if we change that, that actually changes the cover colour. So you can only get a cover on this standard version. You don't get a cover on the silage one. The option disappears. So we'll look at this first before I change up the configuration. We've got chassis colour default or grey, kind of a grey black. So if you want to go for a different chassis colour, you can. You've got on the back no beacon, left beacon, right beacon, or a beacon underneath in the middle, which is a little bit harder to see. But those are your options for beacons. You've then got branding, Massey Ferguson or nothing. So if you just want to stand a trailer without the Massey Ferguson branding, you don't have to have it. We've got ladders, no ladders, left ladder, right ladder, or both ladders, and then off again. And then cover, yes or no. And like I say, depending on what you choose for your design colour, that will be the colour of your cover. So if we go back up again then to configuration, we've got grain at 14,500. We've then got silage sides at 27,000. We can then go silage sides and left board, which takes you up to 28,000. We can go silage sides and right board, also at 28,000. So if you're spraying into that with a forage harvester or something like that, generally speaking, it will have a higher side, the side you're spraying against, so it doesn't all spill out the side. Or you can have silage sides both. If you go for silage sides both, it goes up to 29,000 litres. So if you want the maximum capacity, you have to have both silage boards on. If not, it's 28, and then it comes down from there or up from there, depending on which way you look at it. And like I say, if you have the silage version, there's no option for cover. There's no cover on it. As far as tip, a little bit slower than the other one, the Cargo XK. To have lights, nice big indicators on that as well. Turn the lights off, unhook from there. Then unload on this one. As you see, the back being different, the whole mechanism for unloading that is very different. Nice design on that. Nice smooth animation. There you go. That's the Massey Ferguson 700 by Mattxjs. Oh, the beacon, I went for the left beacon I think on this one. On the back. So left or right, and then there's one underneath the chassis if you want to go for that as an option. Let's turn that off. Next we're going to look at, let's have a look at these. This is the Christmas pack. This is by Rowley Christie 1, 6.82 megabytes download. One slot for the Christmas tree and the Merry Christmas sign, kind of comes as one part, and then the snowman is 4 slots. I'm going to skip ahead at the end to night time because I think these all light up. I think that would look rather cool. That may end up being the thumbnail. I haven't really decided yet. Nicely made, 3-dimensional look with Christmas rapidly approaching. Nice little touch if you want to go a bit more festive on your farm. These you will find under placeables, under decoration. I think it was decoration. So there you go. The illuminated tree is 1,000 to buy, and the snowman is also 1,000 to buy. Now the snowman says 1 slot because I've got 2 of them already. Oh yes, that was the other thing. These pay you when you place them. You get paid per hour on these. On normal economy, it's 8. I didn't actually look up to see what they were. It's not going to be a huge amount of money, but they do pay you. I'm not sure why they pay you, but they do. So we'll have a look at those right at the very end. I'll skip through to the darkness and we'll kind of end on that. So that's the Christmas pack by Rowley Christie 1. Next we have got this. This is the large shed. This is by Alex D. This is 10.57 megabytes download, 8 slots on console. It's huge. I like the fact you've got a massive entryway, drive through all the way round, but you've also got this kind of big section here, almost like a barn door entrance to bring stuff in from this side that's a little bit larger, because obviously those are a little bit narrower between there and there. Nicely made, nicely detailed. Quite a large platform, like base plate on this, so yeah, placing it might be a little bit more difficult because it has got, footprint was the word I was looking for. It's got quite a large footprint to it. But this you will find under placeables and sheds. There you go, 15,000 to buy. And like I said, 8 slots. So that's the large shed by Alex D. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove that sleep trigger and we'll put the next one in and we'll look at the next ones one at a time. Okay, so up next we have got this. This is the Farmhouse. This is by lancyboi and Steve's Mods. 16.2 megabytes download, 20 slots on console. This is also a sleep trigger. This, I think, if my memory serves me correctly, is the sleep trigger Farmhouse on lancyboi's new map that's a work in progress at the moment. Again, nicely detailed. There's a load of detail inside on this one. I think we've got a little, I say a little, we've got a roaring fire. We come in here. Well, it doesn't appear to be animated on console though. There's supposed to be a roaring log fire there. There's no trigger to turn it on or off, is there? Not that I can see. There's a lovely glow coming from it, as if there would be. So as we go through the building, I think we have light switches. Where was the light switch? Or did I dream it? Let's have a look. I could have sworn there was a light switch. Maybe not. But we've got all this downstairs. Then when we go upstairs, the sleep trigger should be in the bedroom. There we go. And there's your sleep trigger. A rustic cabin. It's a nice size as well. So I'm assuming then the lights will come on automatically at night. Or have I just been really blind and just not seen the switch anywhere? Very nicely made, nicely detailed. Let's go outside. Close the door. So this you will find under placeables, under farmhouses, right at the very end there. Like I say, 30,000 to buy, or did I say that? But it is 30,000 to buy, and 20 slots on console. So, next up, we've got this one. This is the Brick House. This is by Daniel X321. 7.14 megabytes download, 22 slots on console. I don't know if you can go into this one though. I think this is another Polish one. Very nicely detailed. Is that just me, or did the perspective just go really weird on that? That wall looks straight, doesn't it? But as I came round there, I'm going mad. It looked like that wall was at an angle. Yep, I'm definitely going mad. So I think, pretty sure we can't go into it. Yeah, sleep triggers up here on the back steps. Like I say, nicely detailed, nicely decorated, nice textures. I suppose it kind of shows you in fairly stark contrast the difference between the one we just looked at by lancyboi and Steve's mods at 20 slots that you can actually go into and walk around, and then this one is 22 that you can't. I guess this one it's got a lot more texture and detail on the outside and stuff as well. But it is a sleep trigger, should you wish to place it and sleep through the night. Moving on. Next, and I need to step back a little bit now, we have got this one. This is the House Pack. This is by gamerhzs. This is 20.73 megabytes to download. There are two in this. There's this one here, which is the house with fence for 34 slots. And there is the house without a fence for 30 slots. Nice modern looking building. I think I probably placed this around the wrong way, haven't I? But it doesn't really matter. We do have a driveway. I think we have a garage we can get into as well. There we go. Both of these, with or without the fence, you can go into and have a look round as well. So we go in. This does have lighting, I'm sure it does. It's difficult because I've only been able to place one at a time, so although I can't seem to get... See, normally when you've got the light options, those light up. It may be these are automated as well then, because I'm not getting a trigger come up, and I didn't when I had a quick look around it earlier. But incredibly well detailed. Really nice modern looking building. That door opens as well. The patio door out onto the patio. Very nice indeed. I'm pretty sure, yep, all the doors to the bedrooms open. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, I'm passing all these light switches and nothing's coming up. Oh, that opens into the garage. Don't really want that one open as well, do we? No, that's a good point actually. Where was the sleep trigger? Did we get that come up at all? Oh, there we go. In this bedroom is where the sleep trigger is. We'll call that the master bedroom. Yeah, very nice indeed. This you will also find under placeables, under farmhouses. And like I say, there are two options on this. You can just have the house if you don't want all the fencing and stuff to go around, and you've got a smaller space to place it if you want. That one's 25,000 for 30 slots, and like I say, that one's 34 slots, but it's 35 grand, so an extra 10 grand for the fencing and kind of the garden section on that as well. So that's, I think that's all the sleep triggers now. I'm pretty sure that's all the mods. Or at least I think it is. Again, because of how things seem to be a little bit weird at the moment, I don't know why they are. We may get another mod or some pop-up later on today. I don't know. If that is the case, I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to do tomorrow, because where I'm staying at the moment, they are turning off the power tomorrow to do some electrical works in the street. So I'm not going to have any internet, any Wi-Fi, any power, nothing at all. So I don't know when or how I'm going to be able to make any videos tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Tomorrow is also the release of the Precision Farming. The first part of the Precision Farming DLC is supposed to be released tomorrow, the 8th of December. I will try and do what I can on that as well. If you're not sure about any of that, have a look onto the Farming Simulator website, on the blog, on Twitter, and not Facebook. But yeah, there's information about it. I'll try and get some videos up as well. So what I'm going to do now is I will scoot ahead. We'll get to the darkness and we'll see this lit up. And I think then that will be the end of the mod review for today. Of course, it would start raining, wouldn't it? Oh, typical. But anyway, that's what it looks like, lit up at night. Very modern looking thing, isn't it? But very nice indeed. Just thought I'd show that before we finish. And that is it for today, I think. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.